So we are literally just a few days away from seeing some massive changes that are coming down the pipe, and a lot of messages coming through confirming exactly what I've been talking about. But this one in particular actually comes from an email that I received from my credit card or one of my credit card companies. But at the end of the day, we are literally at the time of recording this video, we're literally about 10 days away from a massive wipeout, a massive policy change, a massive rethinking of how businesses are going to engage moving forward. 2023 is going to be the beginning of that change. Folks, inflation, interest rates, recession, job market, job loss, employment, security, income, savings, retirement, investments, they are all going to change in just a few days. And particularly something very important that I want to talk to you guys about is a income producing opportunity that I share with you. Some of you may already be taking advantage of this opportunity. Some of you may not. Some of you may be looking to begin in engaging in this opportunity. And it's Amazon merch, which I told you guys about. It's similar to drop shipping. It's, connecting yourself with Amazon and fulfillment by Amazon, drop shipping, print on demand. In my opinion, I want to see more diversity in the businesses that I create, manage, control, invest in. I want to see more diversity when it comes to digital products, non-physical products. There's a slew of reasons for that, which I'll get into in just a moment. But with that are some major changes coming to Amazon merch accounts, Amazon merch sellers, especially when it comes to their income and their royalties. Now, first, the email that I received is from one of my credit card companies with an update for 2023 new policies. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's received these notifications, and perhaps maybe you have. You can comment down below. But simple fact of the matter is these credit card companies are tightening up, and they're going to be a little bit less relaxed, a little bit less lenient for some. Now, obviously, if you have outstanding credit, if you have a great history, if you have high limits, if you have, if you're considered to be a great customer for these credit card companies, then you probably have nothing to worry about. These credit card companies have three types of customers. The first is actually, all right, the first customer, hang on one second. Sorry about that. So I'm actually working here. I got my laptop here with me and trying to get some work done while I'm putting together this information for you guys. I want to keep you guys in tune with what's going on. And so the credit cards, they have these three customers. The first customer is their best customer, which is the customer, the account that applies for a credit card, receives a credit card, regularly uses a credit card, and carries a balance on the credit card. That's their first number one customer. Number two customer is they apply for a credit card, they receive a credit card, they they use it, but they'll always pay it off and they'll never carry a balance. Okay, and then the third is going to be the third customer is going to be they apply for a credit card, they receive the credit card for emergencies, and then they never use it. Now, they are going to prefer the first because the first accrues interest. So the credit card companies make more money from the interest, and they continuously use the credit card. So the credit card companies earns money from the transactions, from the merchant fees. The second is similar because they receive the benefit of extending the credit through the merchant fees, but they're not realizing any interest because they're paying it off rapidly. And the third is not very valuable because they're not getting fees from the merchants and they're not earning any interest. So obviously, that third customer is less likely to be kept around for too much longer with these changes that I'm reading into from this email that I received. The second will probably still stick around because they can still get the fees and they're at lower risk of delinquency, bad debt, right, charge offs, and non payment. See, that's the big thing. But then the first, they want the first to actually get the most credit so that they can continuously use these cards, continuously run the merchant fees, continuously accrue the interest, and continuously keep them in this little bubble of profitability. So, which one do you fall? Which category, which customer do you fall in? One, two, or three? Now, number one, they use a credit card, they charge it up, they pay interest. There's a little variation to number one, and that is when they can't pay anymore. So, this is quite possibly the biggest challenge and biggest risk that the credit card companies are trying to mitigate right now, based on the information that I've received from the emails that I've gotten from this particular credit card. And what I'm reading is that they're trying to distance themselves from the possible likelihood of these bad debts. I didn't know it was raining today. I wasn't supposed to rain today. Disney Springs is going to be wet. So, and that's what is really shocking and disturbing and frightening and worrisome for many. In just a few days, just 10 days, we're going to see a massive switch and changeover. And think about it. All right, think about this particular situation. You are struggling financially. Whether your income has suffered, your income has stayed the same, or your income has been eliminated, or you're on a fixed income and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. And you have, obviously, bills and monthly expenses and emergencies and all, food, water, groceries, all the good stuff you got to pay for. But you've had to resort and rely on credit cards because you didn't have the money, you didn't have the savings, you didn't have the income, you didn't diversify, you didn't have any investments to fall back on, whatever the case may be. Which is, this is another problem that needs a solution that we have to discuss. But first, let's just talk about the credit cards. Now, perhaps maybe your credit card problems aren't necessarily good problems because the credit cards were used to charge and finance frivolous, wasteful spending and a lifestyle of just burning money. Perhaps maybe there was a time when times were good and you had no problem paying it, but now times are bad and you weren't prepared and you didn't plan for that. And now you have these credit card bills that you're struggling to pay that you then need to use for your safety and security net and backups for, supplement your savings that you don't have. So, folks, if a credit card is your safety net, it's not a safety net. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. Not going to save you. Your days are numbered, which then, puts people into this tight situation. It's obviously interest rate, the Fed pushing up interest rates, credit card interest rates are going up, minimum payments are going up. More of your minimum payment is going towards interest instead of the principal balance, and you're in a revolving, debt cycle, never ending black hole, quicksand, however you want to look at it, that you're probably never going to escape from unless you just really buckle down, get super diligent on paying this off, and either come into a boatload of money at one time that you would then dump into credit card debt, or increase your income to have additional income to devote to rapidly paying down credit card debt. Odds are, just being 100% honest with you, most people, they were to come into a boatload of money. If most people had $10,000 of credit card debt, high interest credit card debt, and they came into $11,000 of windfall that they didn't expect, odds are they would not pay down. They would not pay off the credit card. They would take the 11,000, pay a minimum payment on the credit card, blow the 11,000, and then be back in the same situation, the same financial burden, same financial stress that they were in before. If it's you, it's okay. This is human nature. It's almost natural. It's unnatural to want to pay off debt. It's unnatural to make that move if you haven't been taught and conditioned to do it. But folks, if you find yourself now 10 days away from this massive shift, this massive change, and you're saying to yourself, I just need help. I need a way to create additional income. I need a passive income stream to help pay these credit cards. Why? What are you going to do? Just maintain debt? Like, unless you're creating enough to pay off the credit cards and grow and better position yourself financially from it, you're literally just spinning your wheels. Like, working forever, working for debt, plain and simple. Which then begs the question of why? Why struggle to pay a $200, a $300, $400 a month credit card bill? And if you're struggling to pay a monthly credit card bill that's less than $100 a month, then I don't even know if there's any hope. But why struggle to pay $200, $300, $400, $500 a month credit card bill just to stay in debt, when a possibility could be, screw it. Yeah, sure, you're going to take a hit on your credit score, you're going to take a hit on your credit history, but now you're up $200, $300, $400, $500 a month that you're not sending to credit card companies. That's going primarily to interest payments and not principal. That isn't actually getting you anywhere. But then the key would be that $200, $300, $400, $500 you're not paying. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to waste it? Are you going to blow it? Are you going to spend it? Or are you going to use it to start building a much more solid foundation? Because moving forward, 2023 and beyond is going to be a struggle, folks. More of the same. Harder than it was this year, harder than it was last year, and it's just going to continuously get harder and harder moving forward. So if you're in this seemingly trivial credit card crunch debt challenge, then you need to really make a serious decision on whether or not you want to continuously carry this, or if you want to say, much like business, folks, think about it. Elon Musk, new owner of Twitter, who's going to ultimately run this company into the ground, is already facing financial troubles, buying into this company, operating on debt, and can't pay, or is already in the hole. He's in the red. Has already stopped paying rent on some of their San Francisco offices. Is already looking to liquidate and sell assets for cash. This is no different, even though he's a billionaire on paper. This is no different than people in general. If you've got credit cards that you can't afford to pay, if you got debts you can't afford to pay, then you need to be looking at either I'm not paying them, or I'm going to liquidate so I can pay them, and or a combination of the two, plain and simple. Elon Musk is doing it. Twitter's doing it. Major, giant, big corporations around the world do it. this is how our financial and economic system works, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it. As the lender, as the creditor, yes, American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, whomever has extended the credit, yeah, sucks for them. But at the same time, some businesses too, some businesses are extending in-house credit as well, while, some others who are recipients of the lines of credit, it's a cycle. All lenders understand the calculated risks that they take when they loan, and especially prior to an economic crash and collapse. That's why they initiate sending out emails and alerts and warnings and policy changes, because they see the writing on the wall and realize and know that folks are not going to be able to maintain these payments and minimum payments. So they have to make changes before it's too late. What boat are you in? Think about it. This is going to be a crazy ending to this year and an even crazier start to the next. And this carrying and this carrying burden of debt and weight and stress and anxiety is troubling many. Now, granted, it is forcing a lot of folks to reach out and connect. Patreon.com/Kevin247. Folks out there looking to start businesses, generate additional income streams, side hustle, passive income streams, build wealth, invest, strengthen their financial security, which, has takes on a lot of different shapes. Strengthening financial security can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But honestly, I think for the most part, most people right now are just solely looking to survive and manage to get through another week, another month, hell, maybe even another day. But odds are maybe it's just another year with the apparent and, clear signals and signs of a challenging 2023 approaching. So, making moves to become more financially secure, immediately think passive income, which passive income is great, but passive income comes from active income. So unless you have a substantial amount of money, perhaps maybe several $1,000,000 that you can invest in place and not have access to for a considerable amount of time, your passive income is going to be minuscule, minute, if any. Whereas most people are in a situation where they can't even afford their expenses now, and they're looking for a means of financial security today, tomorrow, yesterday, actually. We have to understand that, and then we have to accept that, and then we have to strategize and plan for that. What does that mean? That means that you need to. There's 5 steps, but we're going to focus on the top 4. Earn more, increase your earnings, increase your income. Number 2, spend less than you make. Number 3, budget. Number 4, eliminate high interest revolving credit card debt. Plain and simple. That's the first thing you got to do. But with that, number 1, earning more. That's where a lot of people get hung up, because that is probably, I don't know, they're all relatively challenging if you've never actually tried to do any of them. But the earning more usually means getting another job, picking up extra hours, or things like that. And in my opinion, I don't want to get another job. I want to get another stream of income. There's a big difference, because the more you trade your time for dollars, the less free you are, and ultimately, eventually, you're going to run out of that finite resource of time. That's why folks want to gravitate towards the passive income. But of all the passive income streams that I currently have, I only have them because of the active income stream that they were built from. If you want to know more, hit me up, patreon.com/Kevin247. Send me a DM. And so there are so many ways out there that you can generate income literally today, tomorrow, next week, next month by taking small steps and implementing basic strategies, proven strategies that have worked time and time again to literally just make $1. If you've never created income, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you once you discover that you can create income on your own, then it's infinite. You can almost create as much income as you want because you'll figure out how you did one and multiply it. Now the multiplier is going to depend on you and how much money you're going to make. But if I can figure out how to make $1, then I can figure out how to make two. That's a two times multiplier. It's a 2x multiplier. But if I can figure out how to make $1, I can figure out how to make 10. So now I've 10x'd it. So it just comes down to the multiplier, but but it's not gonna happen on its own. I'm not just gonna wake up and have passive income. I will wake up and have higher expenses, price increases, inflation, my money not going as far, and just more struggles that affect my income and my income's strength and ability more and more. No doubt. I don't have to work for that. That's coming naturally. Which leads me to Amazon merch for those who are interested in it. It's an interesting situation with Amazon merch because Amazon merch has announced that they are cutting their royalties. And this plays into the current financial and economic situation that we're all facing. Inflation and a recession. So, what happens? Amazon merch has made an announcement that they're making about a 9% reduction in royalties starting in January of 2023. That's going to affect the merch approved accounts and sellers. And the question is going to be, should you can sit right there. Should you still do Amazon merch? Well, I'll have an answer for that question in just a moment. But they're making cuts to their royalties. Now, this one way to look at it is it's not that bad. 9%. So 9%, you got to think about it. It's like Amazon is experiencing higher costs, so they're trying to mitigate their loss and increase their revenue and profitability by reducing the royalties paid out because they're handling and facilitating all the processes of Amazon merch. All you have to do is create a design. They do the rest. Which, if you guys want to know how to create the designs or you're not artistically capable, let me know because we can easily solve that problem or that hurdle. Or if you're really good at creating designs and you don't want to run Amazon merch, there's an opportunity out there for you as well. But Amazon does the rest. The good and the bad is if you haven't started, and technically you won't see a reduction in your royalties because you don't have any past royalties to compare it to. See what I'm saying? But it is bad because there's a reduction in royalties. And this is what our economy is experiencing. We're experiencing higher prices and inflation while lower wages are being paid, creating this weird void in between, which ultimately means that now people are going to start charging more for the work that they're doing to afford the higher prices of inflation, which is the big struggle that Jerome Powell is trying to address with interest rates and the service-based CPI numbers that he has. However, that puts you in a business role, in a business position, a choice you have to make. And that is, do I accept the loss and just make less money? Or obviously you have to accept the loss, sort of. Or do I accept the loss and raise my price to offset the reduction in royalties, which we're seeing happen with higher interest rates and inflation as prices continuously go up. This is the imbalance that we have in our economy. Or do I accept the loss, keep my price the same, maybe even lower my price to sell more volume, to make more dollars, not more margin, because obviously you're taking a loss in profit margin, but would you rather have a high profit margin? And let's just say you work for a month selling your Amazon merch and you have a high margin and you've only made $100 because you have a higher margin. You're making more per sale. Or would you rather work the same month with Amazon merch, which is pretty much like super passive, okay? Set it and forget it, and make $200 a month with lower margin, because it comes down to the profit dollars. See, profit margin and profit dollars are two totally different things. And today, right now, my opinion, I want the dollars. I want the dollars. It's like, well, if you compare merch, Amazon merch A to Amazon merch B, A is running a 30% margin, making $100 a month. B is running a 15% margin, making $200 a month. Pretty much a no-brainer. So you got to make that choice. However, the flip side of that is the diversification, which is what I continuously try to share with you guys. Is by having this diversity, you can sell your same designs on other platforms besides just Amazon merch that either have increased traffic, lower fees, increased royalties, higher commissions, and payouts. The diversity is the key. Again, if you guys want to know more, hit me up. Patreon.com/Kevin247. Discussing this on the regular. Now, the crazy thing is like, well, with this reduction, should I even start Amazon merch? Short answer is yes. Why not? They're still paying royalties. They're still paying for you to just throw up a design and then they'll do everything else and you get paid. Like, why would you turn down the opportunity to make money? That just doesn't make sense. And who knows? Maybe you kill it. Maybe you blow up. Maybe you have the best designs. Maybe you drive the most traffic. Maybe you are like just a star in Amazon's eyes. They recognize you, they see you, and then they approach you with an offer to buy you out. Think about how many companies Amazon has bought out in the past for millions and billions of dollars. Why would you not want to go after that opportunity? Especially if you're saying to yourself, I'm already in a situation where I'm struggling. I'm trying to find ways to make extra money. I can't afford to make my credit card payments. I need to increase the ability of me having some form of financial security for the future. What are you waiting on? Bless you. What are you waiting on? Like, why are you not taking advantage of these opportunities? Like I said, folks, the emails that I receive, the credit card companies, the warnings, the updates, the policy changes, the announcements, we're literally 10 days away from the clock rolling over, the calendar flipping another page, the ball dropping figuratively and literally. I think Atlanta actually is going to allow the peach drop this year for New Year's, which they didn't do last year. I think Keisha Lance Bottoms was like, nah, we ain't paying for that. And they're going to do it again. But 2023, like I said, more of the same. It's going to be, if you had a struggle in 2022 and you're not making any changes, you're going to have a struggle in 2023. If you're doing well in 2022 and you're not making any changes, odds are you're probably going to do well in 2023. And, you know, folks want to know about making more money. They want to know about investing. They want to know about passive income. Well, folks, come on over. Patreon.com/Kevin247. We can talk about it. We can discuss, you know, where you are, what your goals are, what opportunities are available. And that's the thing. A lot of folks don't realize how many opportunities are out there until they are presented to them, which I'm very aware of a lot of opportunities that I execute on myself. And that's just pretty much the easiest way for me to share this information with you guys, is because I know it, I live it, I do it all day, 24/7, 365. You know, we have free time, we have the ability to travel, we have flexibility, we have financial diversity. We have multiple income streams. We have investments. We have cash flow producing assets. Like the list goes on and on. If you guys want to know more, you know where to find me.